Yo, what's going on, family? This is your boy, Brandon. Welcome back to another installment of Kickback Conversations. We are so excited to have a friend of the pod. Crystal's here to join us. She is a resident foodie, our resident chef. She's been a chef with Mediterranean cuisine for a number of years. And she knows her way around some cookies too. So all of that combined, I thought she would be the perfect person to talk about this subject that is near and dear to my heart, that I've heard from some of you all that it's like, man, we really want to talk about this and we're in depth. So I'm going to give you the tips. I'm going to put you on game on how we're going to do this. These are your 5 tips to successfully execute a in-home cooking date with your significant other, right? It could be someone that you're just starting to date. It could be someone that you've been dating for a minute and you waiting for them to, get it even more serious. I don't know. But we want to go ahead and give you some of the tips. And so, Crystal, first of all, welcome.
Thank you, Brandon, for having me. I am excited. Very excited about this.
I love your shirt, too. Support foodies of color. We got to make sure we do that. I love in this space right now, we're having so many more people of color becoming foodies, trying different cuisines from all across the world, and advancing their palate in a very more beautiful way, and I just love that. So I'm a huge supporter of that. We don't subscribe to the notion of like, I don't want that or I don't taste that. Like, hey, try some different things. If you don't care for it, you don't care for it, but try it, right? So
don't be scared. Yeah, just try one time.
Just one time, right? Right? You never know what you. A lot of stuff might look bad, but it's delicious, aka guacamole. So so here's the issue, Crystal. I want you to help me on this.
Yeah.
The problem that I see, especially in my industry, being a relationship coach, is that a lot of men I've heard say, they ask women on the first date, so do you cook? Do you cook? So what's up with that cooking though? You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. And I think it's one of those questions that I feel like has become dated. Because a lot of men, we have something to the plate now. We're cooking more, right? And it's not these like crazy gender roles that we've grown up with all the time about women cook and men just sit back and eat or whatever. No, like we are both participants in a partnership of having roles that make sense for us.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know if you've seen that in your life, as far as with your friends and with your homegirls, where they might ask that question. Huh?
Myself.
Oh, with yourself. All right. So you've been out on dates and they ask that question, like, do you cook though? Like, are you good with the cooking? Like, and it's the worst one. My mom can cook really well. Like, I've heard guys say this, like, yeah, she cooked, but she don't cook like my mom. Brothers, let me give you a PSA. Do not compare any woman to your mom. It does not go well. No woman is ever like, yeah, I really wish she compared me to his mom more. No one ever says that.
just keep that in your brain. Don't say it out loud.
So I want to come up with a solution. So the solution on that is when I asked you to join us for this pod is how do we help people come together and go on a date night, especially now, going through a pandemic, people trying to be more creative in how they date. How do we do a date night where people can come in, once you got to that point, you feel comfortable somebody coming to your home or going to their home and having a cook-in, right? Having that culinary, both of y'all putting the apron on and y'all both are ingratiating yourself to a beautiful meal being created, right? I think there's a lot of power in that, a lot of partnership opportunities that come from that, a lot of things you see. So give me, I know you came up with some tips for us, for our audience, top 5 tips. Give me your first tip at how our prospective singles out here and people who are in relationships also can have a successful cooking night.
All right. So one thing I will say is do not be afraid of cooking, okay? Food is fun. Cooking should also be fun. Don't be scared of it. That's the one thing I will say. People are afraid to cook. I will bring that up. So that wasn't one of the tips that I had, but that's just a general statement.
Okay. So don't get into it afraid. Like, I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna burn something up there.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Just try it once, like we said earlier. Just try one time. Right. Okay, so the first tip that I have, which is probably the most important, You want to find out each other's favorite food, least favorite food. If there's any allergies, that's extremely important. If someone's on a special diet or just a strict diet for, religious reasons, health reasons, whatever it may be, that has to be figured out. You don't want to surprise the other person, as cute as it will be to surprise somebody and say, hey, I cooked for you. If that person sees that you made a steak dinner and they don't eat red meat, it's going to be, oh, I didn't know.
Right.
The effort is there, and I'm sure it will definitely be appreciated. You just want to find that out ahead of time.
Okay, so you hit a lot of big facts there. Like, I feel like there are a lot of things that because the worst thing that happens on a first date is emergencies or really bad surprises, right? So you're now surprised that this person has a peanut allergy or a gluten allergy, severe allergy, and now your nice first date of cooking turns into you driving into the ER, right? We don't want that. So I think that's a big thing of understanding what they eat. I have several friends of mine who have different allergies, and to your point, just might have things that disagree with them, right? So if you're cooking that thing that disagrees with them and that it turns their stomach or makes them feel a certain kind of way, that's not going to be a good night for you. Yes.
At all.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to learn how to use an EpiPen the first time that you're cooking for somebody, neither.
No. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, like, I know how to use EpiPen.
And you mentioned like even religious reasons and stuff like that. People who are dating different people, who might have things that they just don't eat. You don't want to offend anybody too, right? So asking these qualifying questions can really help you to make sure you guys are on the same page and you're understanding each other. And maybe to your point, you didn't even know that they were a part of this faith or religion when you first started to date them. And it comes out now. So now it's a new learning for you to how to navigate that.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. And then even just when it comes to the favorite food and the least favorite thing, it's nothing like making that other person happy about what they're eating.
Yes.
Doesn't hurt to just say, oh, what do you like? Do you like seafood? Do you like chicken? Whatever it may be.
Right.
That's the safer ground. That's the easiest way to find out, is just find out what each other person likes, and both parties will be satisfied and not sent to the ER or to the bathroom or anything like that.
Big facts. And I actually had someone tell me, I think it was a client of mine one time who was a vegetarian, and she was not willing to date any man. They could eat meat, but she was not willing to prepare any meat for them. So she was like, I'm not making his chicken. I'm a vegetarian. I was like, well, ma'am, you have to eat it. Like, that's your man, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing, but that's a whole other thing. So let's get to tip number 2. What's the second tip that you would give to make sure this is a successful cooking night?
All right. Tip number 2 is to try to stick to the more simpler recipes if you can. You definitely don't want to do anything too time consuming. So while you two will be cooked together, so time will be spent together regardless of how much time it does take to cook whatever it is that you're going to make, you still don't want to be spending 2-3 hours in the kitchen making something. Like, if you can, try to stick to getting everything done within an hour. Because for one, you're going to be really hungry, and we don't want anyone to get hangry at some point.
No.
Definitely don't want hangriness, not on a date. And then 2, if anything is very like precise with the cooking, where maybe a step can get missed or something like that, where it'll mess up the dish, you will again get hangry. We basically don't want anybody to get angry because of a messed up recipe or something that takes way too long to cook. So something within an hour is the best way to go.
Okay, I love that, because I feel like when it comes to like a lot of the meals that guys talk about when it goes back to their mom or something like that, or even ladies talk about their mom or grandma or somebody cooked for them, those meals take all day. Yeah. Like, they take all day. If somebody's making biscuits from scratch and they making cakes from scratch and all, that's an intensive process. That's not a little 30 minute real quick meal, right? But you still can have a very tasty meal that's not too time consuming. And I like that if you have somebody who's not really into cooking like that, the first time out the box, giving them something more simple, I think can be a big help. It's like not overwhelming somebody with something that's too, and then they might not come back to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, overwhelming. That's a very good word. Yeah, you don't want to just throw somebody into the mix and then make something that they saw on, like Top Chef or Hell's Kitchen or something. Like, no,
Right.
just keep it simpler with the Rachel Ray meals. Simple meals are delicious. We are not to cook like we're at a 5-star restaurant at home.
Right.
Maybe one day you can get to that point.
Right.
Who knows? But yeah, just early on or even every time. Simple is the way to go.
That's right, because you're the Mediterranean queen, so you know that. You know how to do all the little simple things.
Yeah,
olive oil go a long way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
The stigma about how everyone says, "Oh, you're making chicken Alfredo for the first date." Oh, don't make the girl chicken Alfredo. There's nothing wrong with making chicken Alfredo, okay?
Yeah.
Unless don't make it out the jar. Don't do it out the jar.
Right.
It can be made from scratch just as easy as it can be made out the jar. I will say that.
Yes.
This Alfredo first time made from scratch. Do it from scratch.
Okay, I love it. Hey, chicken Alfredo is my jam. I put a little broccoli in mine. I'm not gonna hold you, but
I can't eat chicken Alfredo anymore. My mom ruined chicken Alfredo for me.
Oh, did she? Was that her go-to every Thursday? She was like, chicken Alfredo night.
It was for about 3 weeks straight. Every other night, it was either chicken Alfredo or shrimp Alfredo, but it was also the sauce out the jar, and it just my sister out and.
That's no bueno. No, we got to do the real one. Yeah. So what's funny about that too is I feel like a lot of times with growing up, either the thing that your like parent made for you like don't want any more part of, like chicken Alfredo, or it might be something like for me, like both of my parents we had taco night pretty much every week. So Mexican food is my favorite food. Like anybody who dates me, over the years, they know, like, look, Mexican, Brandon's always down for it. Like, I'm never gonna be like, you want Mexican? I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, let's go. I don't care if it's Taco Tuesday, Taco Thursday, look, Taco Saturday. Like, I'm game for it. Like, I'm always in the mood for Mexican. So I think, but that was also started, my palate was developed from taco night every week. And I think it probably meant something to me that it was like a family thing, you know what I mean? That I did with my mom, I did with my dad, that kind of stuff. So I think it created that. But it like to your point, it can go both ways. Cause I'm like that with cream of wheat. I can't eat cream of wheat anymore because I got ruined. Yeah, no cream of wheat. I know. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
sorry, cream of wheat. I can't mess with you no more.
Sorry, Quaker. Whoever makes cream of wheat. I don't even know Quaker. I think
I had too much of it. Early on, it seemed like it was, and I can't. No, I can't do it no more.
You see it down the cereal aisle, and you're like, no.
Right. I'm like, cream of wheat. Oh, he got me again. Right. So also, in that same vein, this gives an opportunity to talk about that. When you are talking about different foods with your, significant other, talk about some of the foods that they really enjoy and some of the things that, might have brought them some childhood trauma or teenage trauma, right? So then when you're like later down the line, you're trying to surprise them or cook for them, or maybe y'all get to a point where, you're doing that more often. You kind of know some of those little quirks of that. So, all right. So let's get to your number 3. What's your number 3 tip for us to have a dope cooking date?
Yes, number 3. So this is kind of like a prequel to the date. So I would like to consider this a date as well. Go grocery shopping together. Go grocery shopping together.
Love it.
So for 2 things. One, you can see how the other person is in grocery store as far as how they grocery shop. If there's somebody that knows exactly what they want, or if there's someone that has to browse each aisle and decide what they want. I'm the second person, by the way.
Okay.
I'm like,
me too. Like, I'm sorry.
This, that. Oh, look at this. This is a good price. Oh, this cheese. I'm that person.
Crystal. That's me in Costco. I'm sorry.
That's me in Wegmans.
I've been Costco for a minute, and I don't go to Costco on weekends. I go like during like the weekday and off hours. I don't like crowds, but I go through every aisle. Sometimes I have my headphones on. I might have some music playing. I might have a little her or something in my ear, serenading the brother, But I have to take it all in. I have to take it all in because I feel like I might have missed something. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, that's me. Every time I go to Wegmans, and because of that, I try to only go maybe like once a month because I will stay in that grocery store for an hour.
Yes.
And just buy stuff. I'm like,
yes.
Ooh, this is a nice oil. I can use this oil. Yeah, let's get that one. Sushi. Okay, that's a nice. Yeah, Wegmans is dangerous for my pockets because of that. So yes, not just so much as seeing the grocery shopping style, but also you get to learn the person as far as what they actually buy. So, for example, you walk down the snack aisle, you'll see whoever you're shopping with, your significant other, grab the Cheetos or the cheese puffs or the sour cream and onion chips. That'll be a note to you to say, oh, okay, they like the Utz brand of the sour cream and onion, not the Lay's. Okay. Yeah. Down the road, Baes is like, oh, I'm having a bad day at work. I'm blah today. Mm-hmm. Pull up. Look, baby, I got your favorite sour cream and onion chips.
Yep. How did you know? Right?
Oh, remember that one time we went grocery shopping when we were getting the other stuff with the chicken Alfredo? You grabbed those bag of chips. I saw you. Simple stuff like that goes a long way. I would definitely say, especially for me. I love being surprised with like my favorite candy. Yeah, like
what is it?
Reese's Cups. I love Reese's Cups. Like even, my friends know. I had one of my friends one day. She shipped me a like the grocery style size box of Reese's miniature cups just out of nowhere. She was like, "Hey, I thought about you, so I sent you some Reese's Cups."
Wow. So just the regular Reese's. You like the white chocolate ones too, or just the regular one?
The miniature ones. It was a box of like 300 miniature Reese's Cups, and she sent it to me through Amazon one day, and I was just like, oh snap.
All right, so everybody wants to know this very important question. Did you finish them?
Yeah. not in one sitting. It was definitely like a Reese's Cup. Ooh. Okay, over months. Right. He's like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. That was me.
No, I have a cousin like that who is low key addicted to Welch's fruit snacks. Like he will smash a whole box in a day. In a day.
That's understood.
Yeah. He just loves them. Like so sometimes he was having a tough time. I just brought up something. His birthday, I had some I threw him a little birthday event, and I had a box and I had them wrapped. And he was like, "Oh, what's in it?" It was like little individual boxes of Welch. It's like different flavors. He was like, "Thank you. This is the best gift ever."
Simple stuff like that, yeah. Little things like that will definitely make someone's day. Like imagine it happening to you. Somebody just saw you were in a crappy mood or something, or even just in a good mood, and they wanted to make you feel better. It's like, here's your favorite thing, because I remember that time we were in the grocery store. Yeah. Grabbed the Turkey Hill pink lemonade.
Right.
Simple stuff like that.
Is that another one of yours, Loki? Okay.
I am a fan of lemonade. It's, I feel like I'm on vacation whenever I drink lemonade. So.
Yeah. Okay. Mine is simply orange mango. So anybody know me, they know the simply orange mango. I mix it with Canada Dry ginger ale and frozen strawberries. And it makes me feel like I'm at the beach. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like my life is great at that moment.
You drink with your pinky out like this?
I just drink it regular, but it's bomb. I'm telling you. And everybody, and I did an event one time in Atlanta, and I made that the custom event. It was for over 100 singles, and we had a little event. And I made that the custom event, and they named it after me. And I was like, oh, y'all, and everybody was like, yo, your drink is a bomb. People loved it. I don't know. So try it out. Yeah.
That sounds like, okay, I'm gonna finish my grocery list for the day. I'm not gonna go to Wegmans, but I am gonna buy those couple of things. And
see, I'm telling you, you'll thank me. You're gonna call me, you're gonna be like, yo, B, I'm not gonna even hold you. I felt like I was on vacation. You know what I'm saying? I had a beautiful experience. But yeah, the grocery shopping thing, but to your point, I think the grocery shopping experience is so key because it also allows for you to put other people on to stuff that they might not know, right? So they're like, oh, they always have that in the back. They have that. And they're like, oh, for real? I never knew that. So it's another way of partnering together and exposing somebody to something that might be dope that they don't know, right? Because we all shop different too, right? So we typically have like our go-to things when we go to the grocery store, and we might veer off that a little bit, but most people have that like comfort zone. So it allows for you to take them out of their comfort zone and to try something new or give a instant review of a product that you like and you enjoy as well that they might not know.
Yeah, or even something that you've seen before and you're like, hey, whatever you do, don't buy that.
Right. Facts on facts.
Like we mentioned, going down the grocery aisle, certain things that, like you said, you don't like cream of wheat. That's the way that you're going grocery shopping. Your significant other will learn that you literally hate cream of wheat. When they see your reaction walking by that aisle, they're like, oh, why did you flinch when you saw that? And they can say, oh, when I grew up. Yeah.
Right.
That's the way that you can really learn each other. Like something so simple as walking past the cream of wheat and freaking out. Or for me, the jarred Alfredo sauce and me gagging. That's the way you can learn.
Right. Learning. So even though the ultimate goal is to prepare the meal and enjoy the meal together, the journey is a journey of learning each other. And that's going to equip you to be better for each of your partners. So I think that's like the beautiful part of what you say. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. All right. You know what else I like about grocery stores now, which is how I know I'm getting older? The music playing in the grocery store. You hear that song playing? And you're back at the bottom of also. You hear a song playing and you can see how the other person reacts. And you're like, oh, what you know about this? And you can be like, what you think? This was out in middle school. And you just...
you're grooving. Especially down
aisle 7. You hear some Boys to Men playing or something. You just you get to learn about each other's taste in music that way as well.
Yes, I love that. And I just want to, can we give a special shout out to the music coordinator of the grocery stores now? Because y'all is doing y'all thing. Y'all really are. I don't know what's going on back there. Somebody like, I don't care if I get fired. I'm gonna make everybody happy today. Like,
Right. I remember one time I want to say I was in Wegmans and I think Drew Hill was playing. And it was, I forgot what song it was, but I was just like, oh, Beauty was playing. I was like,
oh, that's a classic. One of my favorites. Yeah.
So, I'm singing jazz part, and I see somebody on the other end of the aisle, it was a lady, and I could hear her singing also. We both were just like, this music. And she was like, yeah, girl, this music is... It's a bond. It was a bonding moment for me and the random lady at the other end. But if you're going grocery shopping together, that can be that bonding moment for you too. Just like, oh, they're playing that. Oh, you don't know about Drew Hill? Oh, girl, yes I do. Stuff like that.
I mean that man walking by these strawberries and he being like, you walk by me every day, right? Yeah.
Oh, what you know about?
Yeah, I know that's right.
That grocery store playlist. They need to put up.
They coming with it. So, all right, number 4. What's your number 4 tip to help us make this dope cooking date happen?
All right. So, like we mentioned before, don't be afraid of cooking. Cooking should be fun. But for some people, they may have not even attempted to step foot in the kitchen other than to make toast or something. So, I would say even for myself, when I want to learn how to make something different, there is nothing wrong looking online for a recipe. And also because some people just do better when it comes to learning visually with cooking, which is really the best to learn. Look it up on YouTube. Don't be afraid. You really don't want to mess up dinner. No. You really don't want to mess up dinner. So the safest way to not mess up dinner is to, besides figuring out what you're going to cook, to just go ahead and look up an actual recipe as a guide, or you can follow it to the T. Yeah. Then in turn looking up to see if, because a lot of recipes online, if you scroll down far enough, the person that wrote the recipe, they'll have an embed video with step-by-step visuals on what to do. So that's also very helpful.
I like it. And I think that's so key too, because I know for myself, I'm a visual learner. So YouTube is my friend, right? I've done so many different projects from my house, building stuff, all kind of different things on YouTube. First, before I call anybody or whatever. And usually a lot of those things are step by step. And to your point, I think the visual component is really good because sometimes if you're somebody who hasn't really cooked or you're a beginner in cooking, some of the technique for some of this stuff, it helps you understand, oh, okay, so I should like do it this way or cut it this way, or even with like slicing and dicing, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, it really helps people to see it rather than just slice these cucumbers or the tomatoes, like, okay, or dice them. Like, they don't know what that really means. So I think that's really key.
Yeah, because a lot of recipes will say, and I will even say that for myself as a recipe developer, there's so many different terminologies between dice and mince. There's ways you can slice a cucumber. There's different ways you can slice a potato. It could be thick or it could be thin. It's just so because it's always better to look at it visually. So YouTube is a school.
Yeah,
YouTube
it is. It is our school of our generation. And you know what's so funny? It's free. It's free 99. Like it's available to everybody. So I think the other part that people don't realize too, and you know this, and I know this having worked in the industry and worked with chefs, like chefs have a chef speak that's different than a normal, like everyday person speak. So even things that they call stuff sometimes are different terminology than what the average consumer knows. And they don't know because they're in their world, they're in their zone or whatever like that. So I think it's good to see it too. So they're like, oh, that's what that means for the person who's just starting out. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's very true. Because I will say a lot of people, what is one word that people do not know? Fold. When the direction says to fold something into like a bag, people are like, what do you mean fold? If it's a liquid, how can I fold it?
Right.
Folding literally means gently mixing it.
Yeah.
Gently mix it. But we say fold. Because saying gently mixing it, that's 5 syllables versus fold.
Right.
It's just fold.
Yes. And you know, and people was asking that question, worked at Old Navy. And they were like, I folded all day. I don't know what it's talking about. They want me to fold this.
You don't fold liquid. You don't fold pancakes. You fold clothes. So yeah, like stuff like that. So because of that, it's definitely cooking in general is definitely easier to learn visually versus looking at directions.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So number 5, give us the 5th tip that to close us out to understand what we should do to prepare for this delicious meal on this cooking date.
Yes. So as I get to the point, I'm gonna ease into the point with a little explanation. So think about this way. So when you're with family for the holidays, well, I'll just say Thanksgiving and Christmas because that's the easier 2 holidays to compare it to. Everyone's cooking dinner together for everyone to eat later on. There's either one person that is kind of conducting everything or doing most of the cooking while there's your auntie and your cousin are kind of helping out. Or the owner of the house plus the auntie and cousin, everyone's doing individual dishes. So it's maybe 3 individual dishes or 1 large dish that all 3 people put together in. Same thing will apply for cooking at home with your significant other. Either one person has to be the one to drive the ship, and the other one is, helping out. Like, oh, okay, I'll do the dishes while you do this. I'll cut this up while you're doing the actual cooking. Right. Or if you want to, both people put the same hand and feet in the same recipe. Yeah. So I'll cut this while I cut that. You flip this shit while I stir this rice. So it's really just depending on what you both want to do, and I guess also the expertise level of each person. It's almost like running a kitchen is literally like running a professional kitchen. There's the head chef and there's the sous chef.
Yes.
And then there's a bunch of line cooks that are all on the same level. It's pretty much like that.
So I'm gonna break that down in relationship, dating, talk.
Okay,
everybody has a role, right? In order for something to be successful, everybody has a role in it. We are not looking for credit. We're not looking to dominate people or to be all this other stuff. It's all about the meal is going to be delicious at the end, and let's play to our strengths, right? So if your strength is slicing and dicing and the other person's strength is stirring and mixing, like play to y'all strengths so that when you prepare, and this is the beautiful part about it, I want everybody to listen real closely on. The beautiful part about this is when you're cooking something together, it's synonymous with relationship, right? Relationship is you're building something, right? And there's steps to building something that come together beautiful. If you don't follow the steps, right? Just like all these amazing tips that Crystal went over for us, if you don't follow those steps and you miss something or you put something, it's not gonna turn out right, right? If you didn't shop for the right ingredients when you get home to cook it, guess what? Now you don't have the right ingredients to make what you need, right? Right? It's messed up. If you are not listening to your partner's needs or of what they're allergic to, or what gives them a bad reaction, you didn't listen to that, and you went and got it anyway, it's going to have a bad reaction for the meal, right? So all of these steps are leading to a beautiful meal being created that both of you all can look each other in the eye and say, babe, you did that. You did that. No, you did that, right? And we did it together, right? Yeah. So I'm always telling people I'm way over. I believe in collaboration over competition. In a relationship, it's all about collaboration. It's all about building together so that the whole is good. So maybe the guy did 70% of the meal and the woman did 30, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. We created the meal together and we're eating together, enjoying it together every piece of the way.
that was so poetic.
Yes, I had to go in there. I'm sorry, I had to go in there. I feel like that needs to be said. Like, it's the journey of creating a meal. The journey of creating a meal is synonymous with the relationship. Like, if you really pay attention to the details, something beautiful can be created. And then guess what? The best part of it all, at the end, now you have something in your storage bank of you guys working together, partnering together in a successful way. So when other things come up, you're like, oh, we can do this. Because we're not new to this, we're true to this. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I look at it.
That is a beautiful comparison, yes. That is a beautiful, you never looked at food that way or cooking together that way.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Then you'll be in there mixing into it and everything will change, your whole mind change on it, right?
Right. I love that comparison, yeah.
So closing thoughts, I would say, last things I would say, just a couple points of view I would give too in this is make sure that you are dressed for the part as well when you're cooking. Some people are more comfortable in certain clothes than others or whatever like that. So maybe if you're new to this, don't wear your finest that you would on a date,
Right. Yeah.
More casual, comfortable, but cute or whatever like that, the things that might mess up, because cooking can be messy. You can get things on you and you don't want to ruin it. Brothers, I know how we are sometimes with our sneaks and all that. Look, you should have sent them off at the door anyway, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But but I'm just saying, as far as making sure that your attire is matching what your experience is, because it can go left if somebody gets something on them, it upsets their day. You want to alleviate that. And I would say, to Crystal's point, why not put some music on while you're cooking? Why not put on a playlist that you guys both enjoy? I mean, for me, it might be a little 90s R&B. I don't know, and let it be what it be, right? So, that's another thing of setting the mood, setting the environment for you that's conducive. Again, making sure your house looks presentable. That goes without saying. I would also say putting pets up during that time, because everybody don't like pets in the kitchen while they doing stuff. You know what I mean? So be mindful of that. And I would say the last thing is just make sure that we are fully ingrained in it. So don't answer your phone or going off and stuff. Like, put your ringer off. Like, be present in your date experience.
Yeah.
Right. Make something beautiful happen. And I guarantee you guys will make some culinary delights. I can't wait to hear in the comments later some of the things you made with your date, how it went, some of the funny stories, the things that you learned. All of that kind of stuff. And I think that we'll be, really blessed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Crystal, thank you for coming. We're going to have you back, definitely.
Oh, I love it. This is so much fun.
Yes.
I love talking about food so much.
Food all day. You were great. You were great. So we're going to have you back. Again, y'all, thank y'all. This is Brandon, Crystal. You watched another installment of Kickback Conversations, and we out.